Well, self-defense basics. So, what we're going to go over today is more or less destructive force. There's levels of force. I'll give you a little background into why plans. We do military training. So we run counterterrorism programs for all the airlines in Vegas. So, surprised. I was a police officer. Did do work for the ATF for a little while. So now I just train. And we have a nonprofit. So we work doing movement-based arts. So we're not teaching you one art per se today. It's a blend of many different arts. So what we're going to go over is empty hand. We'll go over destructive force when I go through compliant, destructive, and deadly. Compliant means using control. We're not going to do that. That's all right. With compliant force, it means using techniques to control an individual. I'm not as worried about that, but I'll still show you stuff. Because when fights happen, there's a transition point where you're going from one to the other. No one knows you're going to get into a fight. You're just involved in the fight. Destructive force is causing an injury, so the person's no longer a threat. So it's not a matter of I have to hit this person 15 times. I'm not hurting them. We try to teach you very effective things. So if you get into a situation, you can defend yourself, not worry I'm going to get hurt. The other thing that we'll go today is counterattacks and escapes. I mean, if someone comes up and they grab you, and I try to lure you into my gingerbread man, you understand not only how to get away, but cause damage so I can't keep on attacking you. Because a lot of times someone will show someone something, they'll do the movement, it doesn't work, and they go, what do I do now?
Right.
That's the problem when people teach stuff, is that you know it doesn't work when you get into a fight. There's no really kind of buffer zone. So I'm going to warm you guys up, then we'll get started. All right? Don't hurt yourself on the warm-up. Let's start with neck circles. Just open up the circle portion of your spine. If you have any injuries, let me know. I understand biomechanics, so explain that stuff. If you have questions, you can ask questions. Good for there, we're going to arm crosses. Has anyone taken a class for self-defense? No. Just beat people up? Yeah, well, I'm happy to be here to help. I'm happy to be here to help.
It's true. I really.
I've always wanted to never.
Hurt people on lines.
I'm not being hurt.
Let's go to back twists. Just small twists. If you hear popping, it's normally just air displacement. If there's pain, go see a doctor after. And normally that popping noise is just air displacement in the spine. There we're going the hip swing, so you can come up, your foot can touch the ground, you don't have to leave it in the air. You can if you want. This is just going to open up the hip. Love it, dancer. If that same leg will go out to the sides, there are short motions, this is where it's opening up your TFL. This part of your that's one of your toes. And try to keep your toe pointing in. So like this, because when you externally rotate, it shifts to your knee. So it doesn't have to go high. It just opens up the hip. Switch leg, opposite leg, same thing. You had a start because you already taken the class. You were surprised, like that was fun.
But you know what? It's always good because sometimes like repeating it.
I know you're going home and beating up Bruce.
Yeah.
You
Oh, he got so mad. Well, he was doing this. Like, who's Bruce? My husband.
Husband.
He takes advanced classes from Lance.
Short motion.
So he was trying to do his advanced moves, and so Lance taught us the basics.
You never forget the foundation.
Yeah. And he was so mad. He goes, I'm not talking Lance to go back to the basics.
Yeah, people, they always get it. See, everything's based on a foundation. From the foundation, you can build. If you forget your foundation, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but he thought he was so cool using his advanced move, and I was like, okay.
You put him in his place, like,
Yeah.
oops, I forgot. So I always tell people opposite ankle, same thing. The reason I do this is just to open up flexible joints. Your wrists and your ankles are flexible, your knees and your elbows are stable. So we go after, we can warm up before we start. You can relax. So, open hand techniques. I normally classify fighting to 3 different categories, which is empty hand, weapons, and ground. We're going to mainly go over, we'll go some weapons today, but we'll go over empty hand. We're not going to worry about the ground yet. So the reason I go over those 3 is because you're normally involved in one of those 3 altercations, if not all 3. You might be involved in someone tries to mug you, right? And it starts as an open hand fight, then you fall on the ground, it's now a ground fight. So that's how quickly fights change. You can't say, well, I can only stand up and fight. You get into a position, this is how we're responding. So we're going to simply start with, if you got into a fight, any of you, where would you put your hands? Even if you've never been in a fight, I'm just curious. How would you stand and where would you put your hands? That's what I just asked. I asked.
Yeah.
And most people, that's interesting. The way that most people do, you'll see that they angle their bodies. Okay, they angle their bodies. The reason that people, and I'm not getting into forms or not, The reason you angle your body, there's less of you to hit. There's less of you to hit. So I'm starting with a basic thing of if you're in a fight, I don't mean where someone's coming up and just grabbing you. We're going to get into that. But there's less of you to hit and you have better balance. The next thing is where your hands. The way that most people fight, I don't care who they are, they have their hands here. This is a Western, well, you're not going to have to do that. This is a Western way of fighting. The problem is this. This is actually stating that you're faster than the person. Right? If you get punched, this is good. People never think about their hands are here, so you always assume I'm the aggressor. But if you don't know what's being thrown at you, how can you defend yourself?
You can't. Oh, that's true.
Right? So rather than having your hands, and when you're in a fight, most times you're not ready. You're not aware, it just happens. I'm going to start you from a position of not being ready. I'm going to put you in a bad situation, not in a perfect situation, we're ready. So that's a lot of times we'll start squared off because you're not ready for a fight. And normally when I do stuff, my hands are up, not here. If I don't know what you're capable of, I'm not going to let you get close to me like this, and I keep my hands in my pocket. I keep my hands up for two reasons. Number one, because they're closer to your face. They're closer to my face. The other thing is I have movement. So you'll see me do this, because we're being videotaped right now. So what do you think this is translating to on the video camera?
Stay away. Stop.
Or does it look like I'm trying to calm you down?
Oh, yeah.
See? Because this just looks like, this is now threatening. All I have to do is close my fists. What this is looking like, if someone's videotaping, which
It's
we
like
get
the body
videotaped.
language.
Yeah, so look, I don't want any trouble. It looks like I'm calming down. Doesn't matter if I calm you down, not really. The reason for this is what's known as kinetic energy. I'm moving. I'm moving. So you're already reacting. That's the key thing rather than waiting, because you'll see a flinch response. If you're like this and something happens, you flinch. You don't flinch. If you're already moving, it cuts that flinch away. So that's why you see this happening. Not because and it's not out here. You want your hands here, because your reaction time's going to be much faster if your hands are up here rather than if
Your body, yeah.
they're in your pocket. So that's why you'll see me doing this with kinetic energy today. So if you don't know what someone's capable of, just having your hands up, you might talk with your hands like that. So this is natural. Because again, if someone comes up and punches you, and your hands are here,
You're screwed.
you're going to get hit because it takes you a while to get your hands up. Okay? So that's why you'll see me starting from this. Rather than having your hands, I'm just putting you in a position, it'll make more sense as we go on. I'm going to compartmentalize this section. There's three parts to body language in a fight. We'll say aggressive defense, meaning someone's hitting you. I'm not even saying I'm saying someone's hitting you first. So being able to defend yourself with not getting hurt, and then changing that dynamic. Does that make sense? If you're being attacked, how do you change that dynamic? Because if I'm attacking you, I'm the aggressor. Well, you'd have to hit me. There's 3 times in a fight you're going to get hit, before, during, or after. Most people do after, right? So I go to swing, and then you go to swing. See how it's a back and forth thing? If you're going to swing and hit me, right, I want to hit you during your attack, because that's going to change your nervous system. Well, it's going to change your nervous system. I'll give you for instance. Just reach out your hand for a second. This would be her hitting me, and then me hitting her. I'm still chasing her.
Right.
If she goes to hit me, that's her hit during the attack, and her nervous system reads something. So she's interrupted. Now it's changed. It went from me being the victim to me being the aggressor. That's what I'm teaching you today. You're not expecting to hit. You get hit, and then you, like, what just happened? That's why you're switching this parrot. Someone's not ready for that switch. Okay? So rather than having your hands here or having your hands here, we're gonna use your elbows as a shield. And this is just an initial shield. I'm not saying you're walking around like that. We're simply saying out of a response because you don't know what the person's throwing at you. You have no idea. You can't. I can read punches. No, you can't. You don't know what's being thrown. So if you already have something there protecting your face, there's a less of a chance of you getting hit. Plus, ever punch an elbow?
Oh no, it hurts.
Yes. When you punch someone's elbow, you have a good chance of breaking your hand. It's a very hard bone. It's cutting. It can be very, very sharp. So rather than using my hand in front of my face, or my forearms in front of my face, I'm going to use my elbows. So it's a combination of Filipino Arts and Thai Arts. Okay? So what's going to happen is, based on your arm, whichever one has better range of motion, being right or left, that arm's going to be in front. Okay? Whatever arm's in front, that leg's, I don't care if you're right-handed. If your arm can't get past here, that's not your lead arm. So you want an arm that has better range of motion.
I don't even know.
Okay, so we'll find out. Just choose a leg and you're going to put that in front. Okay, because here's how you get to this position. We're starting from here and all I'm doing is stepping back. And I'm stepping back into this position because I can move in a 360 world. If I step back like this, it's going to be harder for me to move sideways.
Right.
That's why you'll see. It's not a form. I'm not doing all this fancy stuff. I'm simply doing this, so my feet are shoulder width apart. Okay? So it's not a form. All I'm doing is going from here, so my hands, here. That's all I do. I'll stand on this so you can see me.
Right.
Okay, from here to here. That's it. So you're starting from here. Your feet are, I'm not ready for anything. I'm facing you like this. I step back. The reason you're stepping back and you don't stand still, this is why footwork becomes important. Because if I don't move, Eva can reach me with her hand. This is known as proprioception. She can measure where my face is to her fist. So if I stand here and we just start hitting each other, we're going to keep on getting hit because we already measured this. When she goes to hit me though, and I move, she has to remeasure that. This is why it's important that you move. When you see people fight, they'll stand there and hit you, and what are you doing? This way, if you move, she has to remeasure her next position. That's why we move back. You're getting out of the way of an attack, not standing there letting it hit you. Because again, if we were using weapons,
So that's so like if you're coming to me then. and I was-
because I'm measuring where you're headed, I don't know where you're going. I know where you are.
Okay.
I don't know where you're going to be. So if I go to hit you, I see where you are. Now you step back, you're no longer there. That's proprioception. It's understanding where your body part is at any point in
And
time.
it helps when you have this part.
Yes,
on the floor.
so that's what's going to happen. What we're going to do is when we step back, your leg, that's going to be your lead arm, just because it's in front. This arm's going to sit vertically. Okay? You're not going to grab onto the back of your neck. It's simply going to be here. So your chin's down. If you look at my chin, and my eyes are straight. And this does a few things. Just keep it like this. You can see that? You'll notice something. My goal is to punch your face, not to punch
Right.
over here.
Right.
So your lead arm is the initial That's it. Is that comfortable on your shoulder? Perfect. You'll notice I can't get around there. So it's not just for it's taking into account other stuff as well.
Oh, right.
You're not sitting there trying to do this. You understand? Because
Yeah.
people think they're going to block stuff, but you have to see what you're blocking. And if you're familiar with the way most people fight, you see this. But what about if everyone doesn't do that?
Right.
Everyone doesn't fight that way. There's certain arts they don't chamber, meaning it's a continuous flow. So as Eva pushes my hand out of the way, good. Because all of a sudden a new art comes out, you're like, what's that? If she's not worrying about what I'm throwing, she can focus on other stuff. This is why people do that. It's like, what are you doing? You can't see it. So with your lead arm, this is protecting your head. It's a response. See, I went from here to my hand. My lead arm just goes here. We're going to say where the other arm goes. Your back arm is going to sit diagonal. So it's going to look like this. Okay? This is my lead. This is my back arm. My body's still sideways, so I'm not doing this. There's less of me to hit. And I'll address the feet and all that fun stuff. So all you're doing is from here to here. That's it. So keep your eyes straight. Don't torque your neck. Keep your chin down. This way your spine is aligned. Okay? Why don't you all face me? Good. So just from here, you're not ready. You're in a position of starting from here. And the way you step back is going to be based on your range of motion behind. So however far it is that you step back that's comfortable, do that. You don't have to do this. It's your hip length, not mine. So from here, hands come up like that. I'll come around and step back. Good. Do it again. Start from here. Have your hands in. Step back. Good. So you don't have to lean. You don't have to lean. This will still do damage if I punch your elbow. It's not going to hurt your arm. It's going to hurt my hand. So here, and step back. Good. So keep this here. Good. And just pull your chin down a little bit. That's it. So you can still see me, right? And this way you can see. That's what you have to understand. Good. Step back. Good. Keep this. One's vertical and then one's diagonal. That's so it's not this. Because I can't reach her here.
Yeah.
That's why it sits there. It doesn't make a difference which hand I throw. Do it again. Step back. She doesn't have to change based on what I'm throwing. So don't think if the person's left-handed versus right-handed, you have to start moving your arm. You're
You
stepping
don't have
back.
time to think about that?
No, you don't. So what's happening is you're stepping back in the way that you're comfortable.
Because
Step back.
you're in that danger.
Good. So this is here. Tuck your chin down straight. So what I mean by straight is this. This way your ear is not sitting here. So this is protecting your ear. Just in a reaction. I'm not saying you just sit there and walk around like this. I'm simply saying someone attacked you.
Yeah.
And so rather than doing this and trying to see, you step back, not forward. So step back. Step back. You're not going to step into a punch. I hope not. Right? That ends up being out of reaction. So what's happening is you're going from here to there. Okay? It's just a reaction. Do it again. Good. Start from there. Calm me down as you're going. So I went this. Have your hands up here. Get closer to your face.
Come on, don't hurt me.
I'm going to show you what we're going to do because I'm not going to say now. The way that you're going to respond is based on a physical approach, not me saying now, because you're like, Lance didn't say now, I can't move you. So from here, when you see me move, you step back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Calm me down. Good. Step back. Right? Good, do it again. So start from here. There's your kinetic energy. So when you see my arm move, step back, do it again. Calm me down. Good, do it again. That's it. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to hit you. I'm just going to throw something. This is what you're starting to see. You're responding to movement.
Right.
What's making it easier is you're moving. If you're like, you're going to notice this. And I'll give you a perfect example. Have your hand up for me. Keep it still. When you see my punch come in, just have it. Now, I want you to move your hand like that. Just keep on moving. When you see my punch come in, see if you can do it faster now. Do it again. Is it faster?
Yeah.
Because your response time. Because it's connected, you're moving. You're already moving rather than that. Because there's a flinch that's happening in it. You'll notice you don't have that flinch anymore.
Right.
That's why I have you guys doing this, not this. This doesn't look like a difference, but when you're doing this, this is calming down. There's two things. It looks like on video, if someone's taping you, I'm trying to calm the person down,
Right.
but in reality, you're moving. That's why you can respond so fast when you see this happen. All right? Same thing, calm me down. Good, step back. Good, do it again. Step back. Good, keep this. All right, don't touch your chin. Bring this back. There. Good, do it again. Good, do it again. You see how you become responsive. You're no longer worried about what I'm throwing. It's
You
a
can even
change.
feel that energy, can't you?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about what it's going to throw. That's the thing that can take
I
you
literally
away.
just see like the tiniest like little
Yes,
like, thing.
you
and
start
I'm just
seeing
like,
micro expressions of movement. Good, calm me down. Good. Again. Because you're tightening stuff up. When people do this, they start doing all this, and I go, what are you? All you're concerned about is something that's here. Everything that's directed at you. Why do I care about something that's over here? I don't care at all about that. People sometimes ask, but this is just the initial thing. If I'm going to hit her face, what am I going to connect with? Same thing, calm me down. That's what I'm connecting with now.
That would hurt.
This is the difference. When people say, well, no, you're just going to see a punch coming. Are you kidding me? No, and you can't assume you're fighting a woman. Don't ever assume you're fighting a woman.
Right.
You have to assume it's someone who's bigger, stronger. We're not making this about strength. Make that strength, the stronger person is going to win. Okay? So, this is protecting your upper torso. Our hands are probably, what about all of it? It's going to happen all down here. When every punch is coming from your shoulder to your elbow to your fist. Just like a kick, it's coming from your foot to your knee to your hip. So this has to move, which is why when people look at punches, you see this. Right? You can read the shoulder joint until someone doesn't do that anymore. But the same thing with a kick, you can see the hip move before any movement. So if someone's going to punch your ribs, punch your groin, hit your lower, you don't do this. You don't drop your hands because there's still a threat to your face.
Right.
So we want to keep this up. What's something that we could do to protect our lower torso without dropping our hands? Good. There was a UFC fight, UFC a few years ago, where a champion kicked someone's knee and he snapped his tibia in half.
Oh, my goodness.
So much like this protects against it, this protects against this. The reason I stress your knees is this. When most people teach kicking, you're a kicker. Right? Here's what I tell people that like to kick. I want you to kick. But I want you to walk backwards as you're doing it.
Oh, that's really hard to get.
How do you do that?
I'm going to because this is the thing. When people are kicking, they're always aggressive.
Right.
But I know, what if you're getting pushed back? This is how it looks. You're off balance. If
Yeah.
you're walking backwards and your knee cup, you're still balanced. The great thing about this is you'll be able to get your knee up quicker than I can kick. You're balanced. So you can see that you're like, well, that's not going to want to fall down.
That feels like some show.
So what's going to happen is on a showboat routine. So from here, if someone wants to kick or punch low, you don't drop your hands. So keep your hands up for a second. Angle your body. So already there's a smaller target that you hit. So if I'm going to punch her rib cage, lift up your knee. Her face is still protected. See? I can do two things at once. See, people don't ever think about it. Why can't people do two things at once? They'll drop their hands and then their face is exposed. And if I go to kick, she can look at my hips. So just lift your knee up straight. That's what's connecting with it. You don't have to sit there and start getting fancy. All you need to do is this. It comes right up, right? It's the same thing. Keep your hands up for me. Have your hands already up. Whichever hand you like. So however you're stepping back, which arm's in front?
This one.
Perfect, and that's the leg that's in front. Angle your body. There, good. So keep this here. Keep this here. All I want you to do is lift your knee up. Again. Okay, just straight. So this is what you need to see. You're getting your knee up. When you start understanding, you're not trying to race me. That if someone goes to kick you, your knee comes. You're protecting yourself. Nothing of this. That's it. That's it. See?
Fancy.
That's it. That's what's and no difference if I go to punch. Same thing there. That's what's protecting your lower torso. And you'll all probably notice something as I'm doing this. I hand something down.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say you couldn't get big. I'm just saying initially when someone attacks you, you're aggressively covering yourself. Your defense is hurting another person. It's not just like you're taking hits and they're going to find a way in. No. We're doing this so initially when you're attacked, you're protected. If someone goes high, these are up here. If someone goes low, your knee comes up. You know, and remember, this is a street fight. There's no rules.
Yay, scrappy.
So it takes this much pressure in groin. It's called pain. So if you have someone who likes to kick high, there's only one move you have to do.
Wham.
Just lift up your foot. You don't have to do anything. Just literally lift it up, right? Because all that happens is if I go to kick high, and your foot's going to connect with there before I ever get to your head. And your hands are protecting your head. That's why your hands don't drop. Don't start doing this. Because your face is exposed. So when you're from here, what's going to happen is you're stepping back. There's less of you to hit. So I'm starting you in a position of the worst. There's all these different areas you can hit. And then from here, it's this. Perfect. Okay? So here's what you're going to do. You're going to do with each other.
No, fine. Yay.
Partner for a second. We're all going to switch off. So you do around other things. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to come her down. So your hands are going to be up. She's going to do a windmill. So what I mean by this, you're trying to trick her. It's slow because what's happening is you're getting used to motion. She's not going to tell you. This way you're going to see how different people's bodies move. You don't have to change anything based on who's coming in. All you're doing is this. Step back. Good. So make sure you're in a position where you actually have good balance. Don't just step to step. So you're balanced. Okay? So you like doing this way. This way. It's better. Because what's happening is this. Keep the same. But it is a little higher for me. This one. I'm going to show you something. Trust me. See? When there's things you don't see, don't think you're going to see movement. So if you don't see something, that's what it's also protecting you from. Not just what you see. Correct. That vertical. Yes. So keep this higher. You got it. I won't say. That's what you need to see. You need to see that, okay? So good. Yep. We're gonna get into that. So start from here, just calm her down, and just do that window unless it's slope the head. Good. Again. Yes. Always start, like I said, don't start doing this. Keep it close to your head. You just care about your head. Calm her down. Hands are moving. Yes. Good. Again, you can switch up your arms then. That's what you need. He's not going to tell you how they're going to do it. Good. Don't start doing that because here's the thing. It's constant movement. I'll give you a for instance. So if you're throwing movement, go ahead. Same. You keep on going. Same. It doesn't matter because you're moving. Once you do that, so always go from here. The fight hasn't stopped. This is just a starting point for you to protect yourself. Same thing. Switch roles so you can see what's happening. Good. Again. Good. Don't close your eye. Good. 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 Switch. Same thing for here. You don't have to move. Calm her down. Good. Just window. Slow window. Better. Yep. Good. It's doing a few things. Number one, it's changing the space, and the face is protected last time. So, this is just you don't stop her. That's not the end of the fight. This is saying the person attacked you, and you had to defend yourself initially. Now we can change it. Now we're going to get aggressive. This is going to be forward pressure. Okay, there's many different ways, because if we have a fight and we're here, the goal is to get close to the person. I can't keep on fighting you at it. If I'm fighting someone who's 6'11", I'm not going to keep them at a distance. I can't reach them. You want to get in here.
I have a problem.
See? Well, here's the thing. When we're here, your height doesn't matter anymore because we can reach each other. And you're a lot more dangerous and close, but people don't realize that. So bigger people will try to put smaller, meanwhile you can do more damage in close. You absolutely can. So that's why it's in close. So to close this gap, we're going to do what's known as a straight blast. Because if you take your hand, I'm going to punch it. All right? Now hammer it. Tell me which one's harder. We don't want you to break your hand punching someone's face. A hammer fist is not going to break your hand.
Wow.
See the basic concepts. So what we're going to do is, it's not just one. There's going to be a revolution happening. Because here's why. Can you grab my wrist? That's why. That's why, because there's continuous movement. So it's not this. It's not rock'em sock'em robots. It's simply this. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go from this position, go slap, right? I'm calming the person down. I'm here. And then you're going to straight blast. You're aiming at someone's, and this is a fun drill.
This here?
Yeah, so it's going to be like some shit. It's going to do this. They're revolving. That's it. Now, what I don't want you to do is this. Don't start reaching out your arms. I want your legs to help. keep in mind, we're closing a gap. And I'm gonna give you a hard drill, so this way it becomes easier. This is what you have to cover effectively. So you might get 2 to 3 most. The goal is not necessarily to break my nose, that's a happy accident. The goal is to get closer to my head. The goal is to get closer to my head, not that's like I said, you hit me in the face, that's great. But we're not doing this. If I do this from back here, you're gonna move. You're like, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? So you're doing it from here. There's an initial response that's happening. That's why it's happening so close. So the drill is simply this. To keep your legs with this, because we don't want to elongate the arm. We're gonna run. What? We're gonna run. All right, so I'll give you a for instance. Here's what I want you to do. I just want you to swipe across my waist like this and then back up. And back up. Right? So what I'm going to teach you is deceleration. In reality, in a fight, you're not going to decelerate. You're just going to accelerate. You're going to be going forward. So let's move this way so you have room. So I want you to swipe at my waist and then go backwards. All right? You do it again. That's what you want. Because
Who am I? Am I or her?
you're going to change roles.
Oh, okay.
So here's what's happening. This is showing you 2 things. If I'm giving you, I want you to do the same thing for me. I'm going to swipe at you, and then I want you to accelerate forward. You ready? Because no one's going to stand there and let you hit them. That's why you're not just doing this. If you elongate your arms, so in reality, we're going to go, so I'm not going to hit you.
Yeah.
All I want you to do is just do that windmill punch and stay still. See? That's how it translates into a fight. That's how it's working. We're not saying we're sitting there and the person's swiping and we're running after them. We're saying from this first position, when this person attack, there's my opening. You see how you just change that dynamic? The person's not waiting for you to come down their center line with hammers on their face. So if I make it difficult where you can close a gap when someone's going backwards, you can absolutely close a gap when you're here. That's the premise of this. That's why I said you're not doing this from 15 feet away. You're doing this from 2 feet away. This is a harder drill to make you understand that you're running. You're not just doing this. That's why I said don't elongate your limbs. Keep these close.
Aren't you supposed to have a hammer this way?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
And then when you have this
not yes, correct.
Right.
See, they're revolving toward my face.
But when you have somebody really tall, like you have somebody
How do you do
short,
that?
like
Oh,
me,
so that's fine. Oh,
then you
good
get-
question.
We're hitting their
No,
chest then.
good question. If I'm much taller than you, all right, much tall,
Yeah.
a person's still going to protect their face. Why? You can jump. You can jump. I'm not saying you're going to jump.
Oh.
I'm saying the way someone reads this is this. If I'm coming at your, right? If you see this, you'll still put your hand,
Yeah.
which is what I want you to do. And we're gonna get past a good question. So I'll even let you start with your hands up, right? So you're protecting your face.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go through her hands. This is no different from a tall person. You're looking at them, right? So as I'm coming towards your face, and you're going,
Get down.
see you, it's misleading.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and I'm gonna hit your groin. If you're much taller,
Hit her groin?
yes.
Okay.
What happens?
With your hand? With your
Yes.
hand?
Either one. So if you're dealing with someone who's much taller than you, what's now
Whatever.
closer to your hands? Their groin.
Yeah.
They can be 6'11", the groin's right.
Oh, that would hurt.
And then magically what happens, they become your height.
Yay. And then
When you hit someone's groin, they pipe.
And then you kick them in the face.
Okay, better than that, because the head is you ready. But
Well,
that's
it's
the
already
thing.
down. It's
So if you're, yes.
Then you can fix them.
Yeah, so what's happening is when you're seeing someone tall, you're still, you know where the groin is. You have an overall view of what's going on. You don't have to stare at the groin. You know where the groin is. So when you're going towards the face, I know what, boom. All I'm doing is at the last minute hitting the groin. Whether someone's tall or their hands are up, I'm not going to punch through your hands. I just told you what happens when you hit the elbows. But it's going towards the face. Can you put your arms up for me? See, as I'm doing this, I'm just, the body, notice how you didn't drop your hands. No, it never does. No, it never does. Because your nervous system read a threat. Your nervous system is still reading this. Your body says, I'm about to get hit. But you didn't drop your hands. Neither will they. There's still a thing that you can jump. That's why. It's how your body reacts. We can say, I'm going to do that later. Because you just look how your body doesn't drop its hands. You pike. You feel the stomach do this. And you get hit in the groin. So against a much taller person, you're still aiming at the face. And we're going to hit the groin. But first, let's do this drill first. We're going to go very slow. We're not going to hit each other's face. Okay? You two partner and a partner. Here, let's do this way so you have room to move. So here's the drill. Let me explain this. Okay? You're going to swipe at her waist. Okay? After she swipes, you're just going to go towards her face with a straight blast. Don't hit her in the face. Okay? And you're going to go backwards. Okay? You don't chase her all the way out the door. It's just for a few feet so you can see how quickly you can close this gap. So let's do this way so you have room. All right, so let me remind you this is how it's gonna look. All right, I'm swiping. After I swipe, that's what I want. To get you in the mindset of going forward aggressively, do not drop your hands. Here's why I do straight blast. At any point, guess what? You can come right back up. You can always come, from any time that you're doing, your hands can come right back up to where you started. So you started from here. Okay? You can always go back up if something gets in your way. Or we'll go slow. Don't worry. Don't get confused. Ready? You can have your hands up.
Oh.
You're swiping. Don't lose control.
You're swiping.
Okay.
Good. Again.
I don't know why I go into the goofy run.
Good. You can go faster. Oh, you can run it. You don't have to sit there and start, away from the wall. Away from the wall. She's just ready. She's just ready. Wow. Hands up, ready?
Yeah.
That's it. Good.
It's hard to keep, I use my.
I know,
That's
I
fine.
keep your
That's fine.
Oh, yeah?
What I don't mind either way you're doing
Oh,
it.
okay.
The goal is because of this. You'll notice something. I'm not going to hit you. Same thing. Just swipe across my waist. Don't go backwards. My goal is because I want her neck. If you never hit the person's face, I don't care. Keep in mind, this was the length you had to cover.
Right.
You can't just walk in and grab their neck. And we'll get into why you're grabbing the neck. But what this is doing is it's getting you closer, right? If we're starting out here, right, and she just throws a punch at me, see how there's distance? If it's much taller, I'm not gonna stay out here. No, I can get to.
Yeah.
Now we've
And then I'm
changed.
screwed.
Now we've changed height. We've changed height.
Right.
You've made yourself close. I don't care how small you are. You're now closer. Look at the difference of how we just close this gap. Can you do it again for me? Come down. Boom. That's what you need to. And notice her arm's still out. I didn't wait until it's somewhere else. It's still extended. One of the great things about having your arm up, okay? Let's say she hits my arm. My arm. You see where the hand is? I'm not going around it. That's why it's up. Some people are like, well, that's uncomfortable. I want my hands here. Because if she makes contact with my elbow, it works as a chamber. Whatever she's doing. If she tries to hook toward the head, look what happens. Go to hook the head. I don't have to wait. The reason I'm doing this is because a jab is a straight line. So when she jabs, jab lightly. When she makes contact here, see that lock? Every time it's this. Do it again. What? I don't have to, and my hand's back up. I'm not trying to do this. Good.
You could though.
No, you don't want to do
No,
that. She
you
has
don't.
another hand.
Oh.
Keep in mind, she has other hand. So all that's happening is this. You'll know your hand's up before she throws something. That's what you have to, see, we're not stopping movement. When my hands are here,
Yeah.
my finger, there's my spirit fingers. There's always movement happening. I'm never just doing this. That's why I don't have you stand like this.
Oh, it's not.
See, it's this. And people ask, what if they grab your wrist? Grab your wrist. People forget that you can still make contact. It's like a tit for tat. If you grab my wrist, I'm not going to go, give me my arm, I'm going to hit you.
Somewhere else.
Yes, so don't forget about what you can no longer use and focus on what you can still use. So don't worry about someone grabbing. If I do this, she doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
Right.
People focus on what they can't use, they go, don't worry about that. All right, so what we're starting from is here. We're protecting ourselves. And then that's the reaction, because you start to see it. It's the same thing. We're just going to do this slow so you guys can see it. All right, start calming me down. I'm going to do a windmill, step back, protect your face. Straight blast. Right? You see a response time? Rather than this, rather than I throw something, protect yourself. And then right? My hand is still out. People don't expect that response. People think, and if I get closer to her, I'm doing her a favor. Right? Just protect yourself and stay there as you step back, right? Well, I have quite a problem now.
Yeah.
Just because someone smothers you doesn't mean you can't do damage. I'm just showing you how to turn that around very quickly. When we get to the last part of this, which is termination, it's going to make a lot more sense of how you're going to hit the person and why it's so damaging. That's why you'll actually enjoy when people get this close to you. If someone's this close to me, I don't have to go like, oh, I need my space. No. The whole goal was to get here. So if the fight is here, you don't have to start doing
Have
all
you
this
done
stuff.
this before?
No.
Oh, because you seem to.
She just wants to hit me. I got other people in this class. I don't know what's going on here.
acting with like
Yeah.
action sequencing kind of stuff, so I have
Your
to-
body will naturally respond to a lot of the stuff, so it's not like I have to memorize it. No. What's happening is, the key thing is your body's reading a threat. Most people do this. They start reaching. And then you're exposed. All I care about is this. That's why it's funny. What do animals do? They make themselves look more threatening. Isn't it funny how people do that? You'll see people do. You're showing me more areas to hit. In reality, when you start to cover up, you look vulnerable. What are you doing? You're protecting yourself.
Mhm.
there's less of you to hit. The person who's doing this is in trouble, not the person who's doing this. There's less to hit. Because I don't just train people for one-on-one. I train people for mass attacks, where you're getting attacked at one time by 3 people. So all of a sudden this stuff goes away because everyone's trying to attack you. That's why when you have little things where it's one person, it's easier. Because you have a plan, they have no idea what's about to happen. Okay? So this drill, what you guys are doing is simply this. Start from here. Either one of you can do this one. Right? From this position, now go slow. Watch this for a second. As she calms down, I'm just going to do a windmill. Okay, she's going to step back, protect herself, straight blast. So move, make sure you move. So even if you're going to throw that windmill, right, she's already there. So you're violent too. All right? So on this side, you are doing defending yourself and straight blasting. All right? On this side, we're simply doing a windmill. So meaning this, you're all starting from here. So we're starting from here. Step back, straight blast. Okay? Do it again. This time, feet are windmilling, and then move backwards afterwards. I mean, you can make kind.
What?
Start from here.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Switch with me. Good. From there. Good. I'll beat you. All right, same thing. Doing the same drill. So calm me down. Protect yourself. Straight blast. Down my center line. Good. Do it again. But I want this. Revolving. Yeah, it's okay. Revolve. Same thing. Calm me down. Calm me down first.
I never hit you.
Good.
I know.
And then quick. I want you to go right toward me. Yes. Right after. So the moment you do this, watch. Same thing. Calm me down.
Okay.
Defend yourself. Now. That's what I want you to see. Yeah. That's the disconnect. So we're just putting it together. That's why we're like, there's a delay. Don't delay. Once you see that I'm not hit, then go right in. Ready? Calm me down. Now. Yes. That's the change. That's the change you have to see. Because you're saying, oh, I'm responding much faster.
I'm exhausted already.
That's okay. We're not pit fighting. We're simply saying what's happening is someone attacked you and you're responding. What ends up happening with people is they're attacked and they freeze. They don't like, what am I going to, and you start thinking, how should I hit this person? This is an initial, you're not doing this for 3 minutes. That's why I tell people, I go, imagine you're getting in a fight and it's going round. You have
Oh my God.
Yeah, you have an adrenaline dump.
I would give up, I think.
Street fights are 15 seconds. They're not 15 minutes, they're 15 seconds because you overwhelm the person and it's done. You're not hanging around finding out what's going on, you overwhelm and you get to safety. That's the key thing. So we're just doing the drill, like, oh, this is tiring. But you're not going to do this all day long. You're doing this and then getting out of the situation. Okay? Go on. So with this straight blast, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Switch roles. Switch roles.
Which one?
You're going to straight blast this time.
Oh, that's hard. Do it again, like I was doing.
It's good for you though.
All right.
I'm watching these hard work.
Good. Down. Not like this. Circles.
Oh,
Circle.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
And it's coming down on the face.
All right.
Right again. Right in. Good. So try to break the delay. You'll notice there's a small delay.
Okay.
Try to break the delay.
Boom, get it.
Yeah, good. That's what she has to, because she'll tell you, she's like, no, there's an initial threat.
Yeah.
The person doesn't expect a response that way.
Okay.
That's just going from aggressive defense, right, we're here, to forward pressure. The last part, which I like, is termination. Now that you're close to the person, we're ending the threat. We're not going to sit there and throw punches. No, we're not going to do that. The reason that we're holding on to the person's spine, all right, not their shoulder massage, is their spine. Can you walk backwards for me? That's the first reason, because we're attached. The second reason is this. When you hold on to someone, when you punch someone, there's movement in a fight. We're all moving. No one's standing still and letting each other hit, right? People are going to move. When you hit someone, there's give, right? There's give in the body. Imagine if you hold on and you hit someone. What happens?
Ooh, they all work.
The body absorbs it. There's nowhere for the energy to go. So as weak as someone, like, I'm not that strong, doesn't matter. You've intensified your strength exponentially. A child could hit you with some of these movements, you're going to cause damage. Do you have kids here? Got kids, right? Anyone ever get headbutted in the face by a child? That's your child. When your kids were growing, they ever jump up and say hi? And you're like, ooh, that's...
My son was laying on top of me in bed. He was only 8 months old, 10 months
Yes.
old. And he went like this and hit me, and I had a black eye for weeks.
Perfect
Example.
example. That's an 8-month-old child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God,
Yeah. So the
it's
movements...
scars, really, just
And you can talk, because like when you experience it, you know the damage that you can cause. Because if you're like, that was an 8-month-old child. The 3 movements that I suggest, I like these because they cause significant damage. It's not a matter of I have to start now. You're not going to punch at all. Not going to punch at all. There's a reason that these movements are not allowed in sports. It's because they cause damage. They end the fight by themselves.
Wow.
So now, if we're now doing that while you're attached to someone's neck, you've made it stronger. They're stronger. So let me borrow your ear for a second. The first movement, if you get knee in the groin, man or woman, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, no,
Right?
been
Because
there.
there's, because a woman will damage the pubic bone, and a guy will press the scrotum. When you're holding on to someone and you throw a knee, what do you think happens?
They're down, putting out, yeah.
And a very small chance of ever being able to reproduce it because the energy stays there. It's not where you just hit. Remember, you hit in a pike. There's nowhere to go. So from here, you're holding on to someone's neck. Okay, don't do this. Stack.
So we can get
Yes.
away.
Correct. And you can also move one of your hands.
So you're very bright.
So it's not this, because the other thing is this. When I was doing this, to do this at a high velocity, I have a chance of breaking my fingers. So from here, all I'm doing is stacking. All right, your elbows are in just as close as they can be. They don't have to be out here, they can be here. So when you throw a knee, it's this. All the energy's dispersed there. That's one of the hits. That's one of your options. Another hit would be a headbutt. Now, your son didn't do it correctly. When you headbutt, you're not doing this. Your neck's not a wrecking ball, it's a torpedo. So you're actually hitting with this part of your head. You're hitting with this part of your head. You're hitting with this part of your head. It's the second hardest point in your body, next to your femur. Okay? There's a reason headbutts aren't allowed anymore. So it's not this. It's this. It's a torpedo. So all you have to do is look at my chest. See? And you're going towards my foot. You don't have to do much. So when someone's taller than you, you actually have an advantage. You have an advantage.
Yeah, because we can headbutt them, because we're shorter, so we can headbutt them, we can crush them.
So all that's happening, so you're not looking at the person's eyes. It's not this. You're looking at their chest. See? That's the alignment of your head. Because your spine is now straight. It's not this. That's going to hurt your neck. So if you notice something, can you grab my neck over there? Look, please. Look at my chest. Look where her head is. All she has to do is go forward with it. That's where it hits. You can do it again. Do it again. Right side. Do it again. Straight. So she's hitting with this part, but she's looking at my chest. That's the alignment. So if you notice something when you grab my neck, look at my chest. If you were to jump, you break my jaw. You don't have to do any of this. You just can do this. That part. And it'll go.
Just use your weight to push it.
That's it. You don't have to do, so that's the great thing is when you're holding on to my neck, I'm actually doing all the work because you would end up jumping and hitting my head. You don't have to do, it doesn't require any energy on your part. You're like, oh, these are easy. That's the point. That's why you're holding, they're doing all the work for you. If I'm just sitting there and hopefully I hit her, she's gonna move. By holding on to the party, they absorb everything, whether they want to move or not. Here's the difference. Back up for me. See how we're attached? So you can hit the as they're moving. They're the one who attacked you. All right? There's one more movement that I recommend. I give you 3. You don't have to use all of them, but you have to pick 2. You can't just use one because it's based on height. People are different heights. It would make no sense to try to elbow someone who's 8 feet tall.
Right.
When you're throwing an elbow, okay, remember what happened if your elbow's up and you punch that? You can hurt your hand. Imagine now throwing an elbow. It's like hitting someone in the head with a hammer. That's why I can't even explain it. Your palm is down. You're hitting with this part of the bone. Okay? It's the same thing. I'm not going to hit you. It's this. So it's not this. It's not this. The palm is down. It's this. So if you don't think you have a strong punch, well, guess what? Your punch is coming from your. You don't need any space. You could be here. Don't hurt me. By accident. You don't need space to do these movements, nor do you need momentum.
I've done it many times.
They hurt. When you throw an elbow, you can cut. All right, you can cut the face. You can break the orbital bone. You can break the jaw. You can crush the foot. People don't understand like how fragile. They're like, what? And I go, remember, you're keeping this still. Someone punches it, they break their hand. Now you're oh. And so again, because the head doesn't have any place to move, it's not like she gets hit and the head moves. The head stays still. The cell absorbs everything. That's what changes the intensity of your power. You're like, I'm not that strong. You don't have to be that strong. Power's coming from your hip, not your shoulder. So what's happening is, you can pick any one of these movements. I want you to hit the person at least 3 times. Why? And make sure that one of them landed. If you just hit the person, oh, I didn't hit the person. This ensures that you actually hit the person. And let's say she's protecting her groin. See? There's her head. You can't protect all of it. That's why it's very overwhelming.
So you would be hitting her with the elbow like that?
Yeah.
Elbow.
So, like I said, if the person's much taller than you, I don't have to throw an elbow. There's your knee. When you need to grow and have head comes, there's your head.
Yeah.
You're keeping it very simple and you're staying close. You don't need to do this. Why wouldn't she hit me in between?
Yeah.
I would.
Now it's open.
See, with here, look, I don't have to do it. You don't have to move. The power is coming from your hip, not your shoulder. So don't think you have to start winding up, and you don't have to wind up at all. So here's how you guys start. When you're partnering up, you're not going to do all this. Hold on to your partner's neck. Partners, keep your head pulled back and just protect your groin, okay? And you're just going through motions. It's your mechanics, it's your mechanics, it's your mechanics, not my mechanics, okay? So, grab onto my neck. Good.
So,
3 motions, don't really connect any order. There's no order, you have to do something. It's how you react. Give me 3 hits.
oh, I'm coming after you? Well, I have to have my hands on you.
1, yep.
So if I have you here, I really wanted to get you.
2.
So what do I?
1. Well, you just have to protect
Yes,
yourself.
so make sure palm is down.
Here.
Then,
And then there's,
and then circle the head.
so
Okay.
that's.
So you don't have to go through the head,
So you
meaning
can
it's
hold on
not
to me.
this.
Okay.
It's not, don't do this, watch.
No, so
Reroute.
you're coming after me now.
Okay.
So you'll notice
So
something.
if, yeah,
You
so
throw
if you're
it
Long
down,
hold,
right, so if I'm attacking
throw
you
this out, so
and you're,
watch.
did your
Reroute.
hands, and you get me into
Oh,
this.
okay.
See how it's, you're
Now
right
you
there.
have, okay,
Right.
now I'm gonna absorb
The reason I
any
had you hit it 3
energy that
times
you
is
put
making
towards
sure
me.
something.
So you either wanna go for
Or
my
make this
groin,
up.
you wanna headbutt me,
1.
or you can elbow me.
Yep.
So
2.
we're just trying all 3 of those. So
Great.
headbutt.
That's all it
and
is.
then
You don't have to, there's no memorization,
Yep.
there's no
Right.
patterns.
And
You do
then-
not make.
Yeah.
Based on someone's
Take
height, you
one
can
off.
change it.
And then
They're
you
taller and he's gonna be
Yep.
your best bet because the
And
groin's
you
right
elbow
there.
to the face.
Let's see legs. Go slow.
Okay. So you got me, okay.
1,
1, and then
anything you want.
elbow or headbutt?
2,
Headbutt, okay,
1 more.
and then elbow.
Good. If you don't like elbows, don't use it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing, you can vary what you do. Don't think you have to do a knee first, no. Because here's the thing, let's say you keep your head tucked.
Yeah.
Because there's only 3 positions, don't think I have to do this, no. It's you. If you like throwing knees, you can knee.
You
I
can
like
just eat.
that.
You
I like
can,
it.
you can throw knees, the only reason I show you different movements,
Right.
because let's say that she protects her groin. I'm not gonna keep on kneeing her groin.
Right.
She protects this 1, 2. And you don't need to do 2 things at once.
She's open right there. and you-
Correct.
Right.
You can't protect everything at one time. As much as people would love to think they can, you can, because they're following. Keep in mind they attacked you.
Mhm.
That's the funniest thing about this.
Mhm.
So if you start putting this together a little slow, let's just say you throw a windmill at me. That's her attack.
Mhm.
Here's mine. Boom, boom, boom. That's your fight.
Right.
She started the fight. You see her around doing this where she throws a punch?
Game over.
Throw a punch for a second? Throw a punch? This is what people are used to. That's ridiculous.
Right.
That's ridiculous. This is what I'm saying. I'm not ready, even on her. Boom, boom. She's hit right there. She's hit. I'm protecting my face. And then you're overwhelming. They're still thinking, I think I broke my hand. That's what's registering because it's so quick. So when you're doing this,
Better only do that.
this is just showing you mechanically how to hold on. But you're starting this, when we do this slow, do the same thing you're going to do slow. I'm going to feed you, all right? So calm me down first. We're going to put it all together. Protect yourself. Straight blast. Toward my face.
Yeah.
Oh,
Grab my neck. Good. 3 hits. 1, 2, 3. Do it again. Go slow. Right?
Okay.
Calm me down. Going. Grab. Go slow. 1, 2, 3. You see how it's, I compartmentalize, the elbow's tight, don't start doing this. It's
Okay.
just this.
Okay.
The reason I'm showing certain things is so you can see it. See here? See the elbow? Don't try to go through the head. Watch what happens. There's my wrap. Every time you let go, that's why one of your hand has to be on the center of the spine. Because if I do this and I let go, she's not gonna stay there and let me hit her. Right? So here's the thing, when you hit, there's a blind spot. There's a blind spot that's created. So again, if she protects her head from the elbow, protect your head, there's a groin.
You can't get a concussion for anything like that with your head?
Not that part.
If
If
you hit
someone,
the right part.
Oh.
she's banging her head, what are you doing? Don't hit her on the spine. You guys are violent. It's always the violent ones. What you're doing is you're hitting with this. If you're not comfortable with the headbutt, you can just do it over the knees. You have 3. I want you to use at least 2. I don't want you to just use, if you just use 1 and the person's blocking it. So if you don't like headbutts, don't use them. Because you'll notice something. If she, keep your chin down, protect your head from my elbow. There's your point. Does not matter. If you don't like headbutts, don't use them. Don't you understand them, but don't use them. But you're hitting with this part of your head, not your forehead. When you see the movies, you see this. Look at me. You see this.
Right.
That's a movie, and it's wrong. You'll break each other's faces. It's this part, that same part that when we're born, it's very soft.
Mhm.
It hardens. It very much.
Yeah.
Someone punches that, they'll break their hand.
No, there's soft.
Yeah, it's not, the soft spot's got at that point. So you're not using your neck or anything else. You're literally doing that with your head. For a much taller person, it's great because on a smaller person, they're looking down, and there's a surprise. So we're going to slow this down so you put it together. I'm going to go slow, meaning you're going to put it together start to finish. So again, when you're doing this with each other, you're going to round robin with each other so you see how you each move. Let me remind you real quick of what we're doing, okay? You're starting from here. This is your fight, all right? She attacks me. I just attack her real quick. There's my defense. And go slow, it's not fast. There's my straight blast. When you're close enough, grab the neck. Don't keep on going backwards, it's going to make me get more aggressive. So go slow, work with each other. All right, so attack me. Boom, now watch.
I'm gonna go, okay.
Boom, 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 boom.
Slow your face.
Okay.
And then straight blast.
Straight blast your face, grab your spine.
Grab me.
Yes, now the 3 hits, anything you want. 1. You do another one. You do another knee. You do 3 knees if you want. If you like 3 knees, 2.
And what was the other one?
Anything.
Elbow wherever.
It's not an order. You don't have to use all 3.
Yeah.
I just showed you 3.
Yeah.
I want you to hit 3 times. The goal is 3 times. Not that you have to use each motion, but I want you to hit 3 times.
So there's no set rules.
Yeah.
There's no set rules.
Whatever you're
Working.
comfortable with.
This, there's this.
I'm there.
That's okay. So watch. Remember this:
You're comfortable.
elbows and knees. Elbows and knees in any order. It doesn't be at the same time, but that's it. You don't have to worry about all the punches. No. You could just do this. If you're comfortable, you can do this. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I like that.
Then stay. Then stay 1, 2. That's fine. If that works for you
And if
mechanically,
it doesn't
that's
hurt
fine.
you, and then I'll go.
That's fine. But what's happening is you're changing the aggression. So here's the thing. Calm me down. I'll try to put it together. Protect yourself. Step back. Don't forget the other side. Step back. Both hands up. Straight blast toward my face. Grab my neck. Now your knees. 1, 2, 3. Okay, do it again. That's all you need to do. Breathe. Calm me down. Good. Protect your face. Forward. Grab my neck. 1, 2, 3. That's all you need to understand. I know, because you start getting into a zone, you're like, where did I just happen there? The thing this is why I tell people, you can't focus on aggression. If you focus on just being aggressive, that's why people don't defend themselves. And they start punching, like, what are you doing? Remember, you're responsive. I'm not the one who's initiating the fight.
Right.
You're starting from there. Once you're put in that position, then you can change that dynamic. Remember, from all of these positions, she attacks me and I'm here. No, boom. That's a response. I don't have to teach you this. Why? What would you do if I did this? I don't have to teach you. See how your body knows enough to respond? That's it. It's a response. What I don't want you to do is this. Don't reach. You're just focused on protecting your head. No. It's close enough. Now, if you go from there to straight blast, do that straight blast. Look at how you respond. You think I'm ready for that? I'm like this. You're not going to do it. And then you do this, and then see. You have to understand. You can't think I'm not going to hurt this person. You have to think that person. No one's expecting you to come down their center line, hitting their groin and punching their face.
Right.
They're going to just get hit. That's why it surprises people. No one expects that response. They just expect they're going to just be aggressive, and the person's a victim. That's the mental change. That's why it's asymmetrical. The violence, she knows it's going to come up and steal your purse. And they go to grab the purse, and she starts straight blasting my face and grabbing onto my neck. I didn't expect that. So here's the thing. If I'm this close to her, all she has to do is grab my neck and start hitting me.
Bam.
She doesn't have to do all the other stuff. If someone wants to get into your personal space here, just grab my neck and start kneeing. 1, 2, see? If someone's that close, and more times than not, that's where it's going to start. You don't need space.
I couldn't stand anybody coming that close to me.
Of course.
Well, that's
But
fair.
But that's the thing.
That's
That's
our
where
advantage.
fights happen.
Yeah.
That's where fights happen. So when someone's that close, you don't go, oh, I need space. And you welcome someone getting close to you, be like, I can do a lot more damage, and they can't see it.
Because that's our advantage.
You can't see that. People forget stuff. Like, then you can. If we're this close, she doesn't see that happen. She didn't see it happen. On video, it was like I slept. That's why these movements, they're not telegraphed. It's not this. There's no time of me going ABC. It's A, B. I deal with straight lines, A, B. That's why the person can't react. They're like, what happened? That's the key thing. So when you're doing the neck, if you were starting from a position of here, all you have to do is this. You're not poking the person's eyes, because that causes a whiplash. The head starts to come forward. So from here, I'm just doing this. If she starts fighting, because that's it, boom, you can feel movement. I'll show you what I mean. Hold my neck for a second. I want you to close your eyes. Keep your hands there. I want you to tell me when I move. Don't hit me. Just tell me when I move.
Oh, now.
How do you know?
I feel you.
There you go. That's why you're connected. That's why you're connected. You feel it.
Right.
If you could move with just one muscle of your body, I'd give you $1 million, you could pick up a pencil with one muscle, you can't do it. Because it's all connected. By holding on to the area, I can't punch you without you feeling it. I can't kick you. When you understand you can do that with your eyes closed, you're like, ah, I'm not going to close my eyes. Exactly. That's why I have you holding on. Out here, you're guessing. You don't know what I'm going to do.
Right.
Once there's contact, you're like, oh, I feel him moving. That's what I mean by energy. When I say energy, that's all I mean. Does that make sense? That's why I have you holding on. So you don't have to worry about something happening, because again, keep your eyes closed this time. Right? Now you can open it. Right? You'll feel me move before you see it. That's it, what you have to say. You'll feel it, and you're like, I could react. See, if I do that, what could you do in the other room? Hold on. That hasn't even landed. Remember, this is ABC, that's AB. That's what you have to do, like, oh, it changes. Yes, it does. Because people use stuff as, well, what if I keep on hitting? Not understanding. Imagine if you were walking and you trip. That's going to change your path. But people don't think, they're like, no, if I'm just going to keep on walking no matter what happens. No, if you get hit, it's going to stop exactly what you were just doing. If you're walking on me, straight and I trip, that's going to change the course. Well, it's no different if I go to hit you and you knee my groin. Do you think that's going to make it there?
No.
It's going to change the path of my body.
Hopefully you come down.
It's going to change the path of the. Does that make sense?
That's when you
Does this
run,
make
right?
sense? Yes. I'm going to say, like, are you okay? Like, I'm getting out of here. Person trying to mug me. But that's you have to see. You can cause damage. People teach stuff and they're like, oh, you can just punch the person. You're not going to punch me. When you start to see, when you can hit someone with an elbow, you're going to cause damage. If you knee someone's groin, I don't care how good their energy is, it's going to cause damage. You're going to hurt someone. Does that make sense? That's why I show you this movement. So when you take this way of hitting, now I'll actually apply to someone grabbing you. You have to understand how to strike the person first. Once you understand how to strike the person, you can say, oh, if someone grabs me, I know how to react. You don't have to go through 1,000 moves. Why? It gets in the way, we're like, I can do this, I can do it in their head. 3 moves. That's what I mean. So again, if she grabs my wrist, most people do this. They go away from the damage, right? And she's pulling, and I'm pulling. But she's stronger.
What are you trying to do? You're trying to get away?
You would think.
Like she's an
I'm just
attacker.
asking you.
Right. She's an attacker.
If someone comes up, this is a reaction. Same thing if someone grabs your hair.
Right.
People go, what are you going away for? If they're stronger, they're going to pull. And if I'm going to dislocate my own arm. But people, this is the body's reaction. It goes away. But if she's pulling me, pull, I'm going to go right. That's going to, what?
For her eyes, you go for the
I'm going to go right towards that. People don't think this way. Your body's reaction. I just went with the fingers. But people.
You could do that too.
Of
Yeah,
course
you
can.
could, there's
There's
no
tons
rules.
of things you can do.
Street fight, there are no rules.
But this is what you have to understand, that if someone grabs your wrist, your normal reaction is to go away from it. Now go towards, say, I'm not grabbing from it, what just happened? You see how it throws things? People are always amazed at that. Like, this is how it looks. Grab my wrist. So, you know, people are surprised, like, what's this? But it goes the opposite. And it's the same thing if I grab her hair and she headbutts me. I didn't expect that. I expected her to say, we think we know it, we have no idea what's going to happen. That's the key thing. When people start grabbing onto limbs, they expect you to get away. And I'm saying, what are you trying to get away from? If I grab her with my hand, I can't use this hand. I'm at a disadvantage. If I grab both hands, I can't use my hands. So when people teach stuff, grab my wrist. You see all this? Why are you trying to get your hands free? She can't use her hands. Her groin's open though. I think there's 12 areas of your body that you can hit with. So when someone takes something away, think of the other parts you can still use. You'll see your reaction time, and the other person's like, wait a minute. Because this is the whole thing with a counterattack and an escape. It's one thing to hit someone. Think about it. If someone hits you, do you relax or do you tighten up? You see how that's a nonsensical thing. When someone hits you and they let go, that's not what happens. They tighten up. So you have to keep on hitting the person until they let go. That's what this whole thing that I see being taught. If she grabs my wrist and I kick the groin and run, she's still holding on to my wrist. I haven't escaped anything. She's now going to start hitting me, right? So you need to make sure they're no longer a threat. Then you can get away. This is the misdiagnosis. Hit the groin and run, hit the eye and run. But they're still holding me. I can't go anywhere. So you want to make sure it's like, okay, if they're holding me, I'm going to cause enough damage so she lets go.
At certain parts, you can't get this way, so you can take the other one and hit them.
You can always get that.
Hit them, right?
In which way can you get me?
This way.
Wait, I mean, if she grabs this one? Give me a situation. Put me in a position where I can't hit you.
I don't know.
You answer the question. So if I'm here, say,
Right.
even if someone's taller
Right.
and they do this, let me grab your wrist for a second. and they elongate their limbs. Do me a favor, bend your elbows toward me. Bend it toward me. Yeah, your arms go in.
Right.
Don't worry if I'm doing this. I'll
Oh,
give you.
this is what
You
hit
can,
me
yes.
where you- that's what I'm
Yeah, I mean,
saying.
it's a straight line. It's still, you don't have to do anything like this. You can go right, yes.
No, that's-
So if I'm here, here's why I show you the headbutt. Let's say I took a self-defense class,
Right.
and I'm protecting my groin. What's open?
Your head.
My head.
Right.
No, no, no.
No,
You
you
can
didn't
take
hit
me.
me.
Okay.
See?
Cause look, you hit the groin out.
See my groin's out of the way? Look where my head is. Look at your headbutt. That's why your headbutt. That's why it's good to know it. Some people protect their groin. They know it, but you see what's happening when I do this? Where's my
Where's their back?
my head's
So know where their head.
You cannot protect everything at once. That's the key thing. She grabs onto my wrist, pike, so I can't. So here's the thing, look at my arms, look at my elbows. My elbows, I don't need her arms to bend under. There's her
It
head.
doesn't matter, like I can hold out here and if he can like.
I know that the biggest person we've dealt with was 6'11". I'm 5'7". They can reach as far as that. Your arms bend. They're not controlling this. I don't need your arms to bend. Grab my wrist. I don't need your arms to bend. Mine bend. That's, you know, I just got closer to you. Look where you started. Keep your arms straight. Don't make me say, watch. My elbows bend. I don't need your help. So, same thing. So watch. Bend your elbows toward me. Come towards me. That's the difference. You don't need me to move at all.
Right.
You can move. Don't, oh, he's not moving. I'm not going to move. You can move. Your limbs can bend in and hit. So these are different things. Now, we'll go into the grabbing right now, the whole thing with eye strikes. If someone's grabbing, all right, it's not just about hitting the person running. It won't actually cause damage, so it's safe. There's suggestions I have for this. Number one, could you eye jab? It's not like this. Not a Three Stooges movie, all right? Because the actual chance of you hitting the eye directly is hard. But doing this, even if I miss, you'll skin the head. What's a better way of doing it? Grab onto my wrist for a second. Use your elbow to protect your face. Not here, here, because if she goes to punch you, can you punch her? That's what she's hitting. So this is defense on offense. As I go in, I connect with her head. I'm going right, so she's trying to lure me away. Boom, there's the knee. Now look where we're at. Oh, there's her head. Now, see?
Now it's for.
Everything's putting you closer. I'm not giving you distance. If I give you distance against someone who's 6'5", how does that help you? They can reach you, and you're just like, well, stop hitting me. So it's that whole thing of getting away from you. You need distance. You don't need distance. Out here, I don't care. We're not fighting. It only matters when we can. Now it matters. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm at a disadvantage here. As you get closer to me, now it's even. Now it's even. That changes the dynamic. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So these are the last few things. I'll let you guys ask questions. Start with a wrist grab. Okay, the person who grabs on, come towards me. Boom. Now grab on. Attack me while I let go. 1, 2, see? You see, you can't use your elbow. So that's why I said I show you those things, because when I take one thing away, you can't use it.
That's right.
Okay? Do that with you. Don't hurt each other. So do one of two things. You'll just start here. Watch. You're gonna grab a wrist. So come toward me. Okay? 1. Keep going. Grab my. Yeah, now knee. That's what you need. Keep going. Now that's what you want. Until I let go, hit. Until I let go. Don't get trained to do. In reality, people are gonna let go. It becomes a war of attrition. No one's gonna sit there and crush the groin, and they're gonna keep on holding on. That's fine. They're gonna let go. That's why I want you to keep. The whole thing that people learn, they learn to hit and run, and that doesn't work. It's not reality. You know, if you hit once, then you're training yourself to hit and run, but it's a false thing, and the person's still a threat to you. It's no different than this. If I grab both your wrists, there's your knee. So keep kneeing. Keep kneeing. There you go. Now your
You
body.
don't fall to the ground then.
But I mean, you need to see that, because now you're saying until they let go, hey, it's changing the way that you think rather than hit and get away. Then you'll do this and do that.
And then see, even like, even if you kick them, they're like this, right?
Head comes down.
Your head, but no.
Head comes down.
Your head natural, could find somebody to put your head down.
Does that make sense? Try that with each other. Be careful. Watch you guys are fine.
You're gonna grab them.
I'm here. Let's play. All right.
Okay, so this is where I.
Boom. Boom. That's by closing this gap. That's the key thing. You want that space. If it's this, it's no different. Come towards me. There's an elbow. Keep your elbow
Yeah, I
protected.
know. Just kind of try to grab it.
Okay.
No. Want to do it one more time?
Can I do it again? Because of this.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay.
People do
Here.
this and
Okay.
they punch.
All right,
That
go ahead.
protects it. Now come towards me as you do that. Go in. Wrap my head. Now there's your knee.
And then there.
Because this way, if you're out here, I can still. You don't want that. You want to close the gap. Because if you grab my hand,
Here, go ahead. Do it. Go from- Grab my hand.
I want this space. Because now you're not comfortable
Right,
and close.
yeah.
People are comfortable like this, and I'm.
Head to you?
Yeah.
Watch these two.
Okay.
Watch these troublemakers.
She
Go
goes,
slow.
grab me.
Go slow. Don't really hurt her. You can grab her neck.
Oh,
I didn't say you couldn't grab her neck. You can,
Okay.
remember,
I'm
that
head-
everything goes
I'm down there,
back.
so I'm head butting.
Go slow.
Good.
Who's ever grabbing is the person who's being the aggressor. The other person's the victim.
Right.
And what's happening is she's never showing you you're not the aggressor anymore.
So then I can do this.
Yes.
And then
Push,
this,
push.
that, right?
Yes. Absolutely. That's why I show you this movement. It's not just, oh, I'm in a fist fight. More times than not, you're going to see stuff like this. Come with me, little girl. That's what ends up this, and then you're like, what am I going to do? Everything you just learned. It doesn't always
So
have
when
to
he
be.
grabs me, then I can just do
Yes.
this.
Keep
And
going.
then
1, 2.
3, and then.
You need to know how to be aggressive with this because people are like, well, I'm just going to sit there and take hits. No, what? No. You have to sit there and then change it so you can get away. How are you going to get away if the person's still a threat?
Right.
Questions? Questions? That's a lot. It's
I think it's common sense, though, if you just think about it.
That's a call. I mean, because people, the body responds differently.
Yeah.
We've been trained to do something different. And we're like, what do you mean I'm going to go towards trauma? Because you're not going towards trauma. That's why everyone does this. They go away. The body goes away, not understanding it. I'm saying, you're not dealing with each other. You're dealing with a 6'2" guy that's trying, and they're going to pull you. You could try to run all you want. You're going to dislocate your arm. You're going to hurt yourself.
What if they're hanging on to your hair? They're pulling you and
I
hanging
like
on.
that. Can you grab my hair? If I had hair? With this?
Yeah.
Boop. I go towards that. The reason you don't go away is simply this. Do me a favor. Can you walk away slowly? She's about to get whiplash.
Right.
It's hyperextension and flexion. Something that happens in car accident.
Right.
So if someone's grabbing, this is what people do. They go away and then you gave yourself
Grab my
whiplash.
hair.
You can just go, sit. She's going, and you're not like, what? No one expects
Yeah.
that. You're going towards
I said,
the threat.
right.
Go slow. Sit, she's hit. And that doesn't even mean you have to stop with the headbutt. You can do other stuff.
Yeah.
What I'm showing you is go towards them. Don't go away. Going away from this, you're going to get
Always
this.
go towards them.
Because they don't expect
You
us
always
to come
be
towards
close
them.
to them.
Yes.
And never you-
Take away. That's the thing. Remember, I need distance to punch.
Right.
So come closer. Come closer. Can I punch anymore?
No.
That's what do people do? They create space. But if I can still reach you, how is that going to help you? That's why people get uncomfortable when I'm here. That's why people are so uncomfortable when I'm close. You can feel it. They're like, what? What's going on? But what do you think is going to happen in a fight? I don't care about this. You start getting nervous when you start to see this because I take away people's ability to use their arms and their legs. And that's why you start to learn different things of what you can do. It throws people off because everyone does the same thing no matter what your height. You could be fighting someone 3 times your size and you'll be like, no, give me space. Why? When you're here, you go, I can cause this person damage. You sure can. That's what you need to see. It's that mindset change. I think you're going out looking for fights, please don't. But you understand you can cause damage. And if someone does, because this happens all the time. You go against the wall for me. I see this stuff all the time. People get cornered. They get like this. You see this all the time. The person's like, I don't know, I'm not going to cause any, no, you're going to cause damage. Because if it's right here, all she's do is knee me and keep on hitting me. People don't think, I'm not going to hurt this person. They're not made of metal. They're not made of metal. That hurts. That's why I don't show you all the punches. Because if you punch somebody, you hurt your hand, who cares?
So our advantage is more like them coming close to us than.
Yes, and believe me, in most situations, are people getting mugged from out here?
No.
Right? No one's gonna be like, throw me your purse. Right? Throw your purse. They're coming
Give me your
close.
purse.
And all attacks that we've seen with people we've trained, same thing, military law, everything's close. Even if it starts out here, what happened? They always start compressing. Does that make sense? Questions? I know it's a lot of information.
I'm gonna go home and,
Please don't be.
real quick, somebody with a gun. Just
Sure.
Like,
It's more advanced training. Are they close? So let's just say I actually brought my guns today. See from here. Don't hurt. Yeah. Boom. I can show you that stuff. It's more advanced. You have to understand mechanics. The thing is this. Like, people start doing all this fancy. Like, what are you doing? You're watching me move, right? Please don't hurt. See this? Look where my hands are. Tell me when I move. Okay.
Yeah, but you have to be strong to take
No,
it away,
no.
huh?
Not at all.
If you catch them by
Do
surprise.
you have a pen? Is there a pen? Hold on. I'll show you how to be strong. Do anything. I'll take a pen real quick. Thank you. Perfect. Watch. For you. I'm going to show you something. Just hold it. Let me show you why it's not strength. This is a knife. Put it on my throat. There. There. Good. I want you to cut my throat. Why can't she do that? I'm going to show you something. Hold my wrist with both of your hands. Okay? This goes against what people think. Say, this is what you need to see. It's her body versus my wrist. Now watch what happens when I create space. Now hold it. Now it's about strength. So it's the opposite thing with the gun. All I did was take away space. So here's how it feels. Watch, just so you can understand. Hold my wrist. Both hands. Hold it. I want this taped to you. Make sense? That's what you need to understand. Now watch. Let me pull it away from you. Hold again.
And
You feel it, you're like, that's a big yes. So what do people do? They create distance. When I don't let you have distance, hold it. You know what I'm saying? Your body's now attached to it. It's my wrist versus you. It's no different than a gun. Because the gun says this. You can hold this.
They've got it here though, they've got it here. No, no.
Oh, I can do that. I can go to all kinds of things. Watch. That's what you need to see. Hence my T. So that's my T-Rex. So that's why I tell this thing. It's not when it's this. Because watch. Cut toward me now. Now she can do all this stuff. But now, cut my neck. You need to see what it feels like. And you're like, why can't I move? Well, matter can't occupy this space. It can occupy this space. That's the key thing. When people start grabbing,
You see it?
that's what it is. This is what it is. So we do all kinds of scenarios. I'm not going to confuse you guys. Say, keep it there. Coming through. Here's the best part. Watch what happens. I just start to say,
You can stop.
I didn't touch it.
I can turn
My
around.
fingerprints are on it. You have to see that what happens is you're taking away, when a person's strong, you're making it about strength and you're giving distance. It's your strength versus them. If you're not giving them distance and you're attached here, it's their wrist versus your body. That's what changed. That's why I couldn't cut you, because it's all of you versus my wrist. My wrist is not.
The wrist no longer has a strength. It's
Now we can get into, like I said, that's more advanced stuff. Thinking with distancing, with gun, realistic, this not here. Realistic, knife, all that stuff, we can get into this. It's, like, it's a bunch of information.
yeah.
I actually like this.
You wanna get into a fight, right? You're dying.
We might know what he's talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Good job.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You're welcome. You're
We'll
welcome.
do another one next month. We'll have a bigger group.
That's okay.